presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Call yourselves Title Town? Are you kidding me?
That's fraud.
It feels like a gray area.
Spoiler alert, Canada. Cup's coming back to the US of A.
There's way too much negative stigma attached to strippers.
I hate you guys so much.
My dog just shit his ass.
Well, shit. I fucked this up. Yo. What's up, everybody? It's the intern here. So this wasn't necessarily planned. Mike, I hope he's doing great. I hope the family's doing okay. Our point guard couldn't be here. He had some business going on, and I hope it's being handled and hope the family's doing great. So I guess you can say our shooting guard here, he's got some technical difficulties. So I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to take the ball in my court and we're going to go fucking crazy. You know what I decided to do? I just started this shit to the best of my abilities so we could get some, like at least like a 5-minute buffer period like they do at work. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start it and let's just see how it goes. And to be fair, I shot like maybe 40% there. It could have been a little better. Could have been a little worse. But hey, it could have been way worse. I could have died. Did I die? No. So how you doing, Scott?
I'm just glad you grabbed the wheel. Holy shit. Nothing like your computer deciding that the last effing second that it needs all sorts of updates. It was just telling me I didn't have any internet connection, which is weird because half the web pages would load, the other half wouldn't. So I just restarted the whole damn thing. Not ideal. Guys, Mike is off. He's been dealing with a lot. He had a birthday this weekend, but other than that, things have gone absolutely all wrong. So we're picking him up tonight. Mookie we don't know where the fuck. So it's just the Brown connection. What's up, Cesar? What's going on, man? How you doing? Good.
Brown power. I'm all right. I was in the sun all day today, so I'm melting still internally. It's Laredo weather check. 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's super fun. And I was in the sun like at 10-ish, like 10 from like 10 to 3. So it was like 115, 117. I don't know how I do it, to be fair. It's just like I think about it. How the fuck do oil field workers do this? Because I just give people their fucking orders. I'm like, hey, for fucking Pancho, here, bro. Like, I'm going to go back fucking inside. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm melting.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I knew at a young age I was never doing anything that involved physical labor. Like at a very, very young age, I was like, man, physical labor fucking sucks. When your parents make you do that shit and it's just for your house or just for your room or your own personal gain, I was like, nah, I'm out on this. I don't care how much they pay me. These hands weren't made for doing like physical labor. So I was out on that shit. So I can never answer your question about how any type of like actual workers do what they fucking do.
Yeah. 1, I'm way too pretty to be outside. That's 1. And 2, I don't have the hands for it. I get calluses and it's just like, it's not a great thing. And then you're not as like functional. Like someone will grab your hand and it's just like, oh, why are your hands like that? It's like, bitch, I work. Let me cook. Like, motherfucker, let me do me. But I mean, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I am finishing up my my journey here as far as look at me. I don't even know how to do the damn damn camera there. Thanks. I am finishing my journey here with the Lipton Hard Iced Tea Crusade. I am on the final one, so I have just straight lemon flavored hard iced tea, another malt beverage, 5%. I'm banging it because this entire pack is fire. So it's going to be another W for me. What about you? What'd you bring on to the show tonight?
So what I brought on, I mean, it's Mexican, I guess. Let's see what the fuck this is. Hey, you know, fuck it. It's music. They usually do the big shit with music. I'm looking. I was like, this shit isn't fucking titled right, but you know what? Fuck it. We ball. So today, I'm drinking a Dos Equis. It's
nothing wrong with
Lager
that.
Especial. What the fuck is in it? I don't know. Is it craft? Probably fucking not. Is it Mexican? Yeah, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. So I'm gonna run through the comments here. Hey, everyone, chime in. Tell me what you're drinking. Put up a vibe. Let's have a great time. It might be a shit show, but that doesn't mean it can't be a great shit show. No one said you've had a bad shit. No, you can have a good shit. I've never seen someone have a bad one. I mean, I've had a bad one, to be fair, but not in this context. So Mr. Robert Taylor here. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it. Go for it. Hit Robert.
Mr. Robert Taylor is drinking a paperback brewing beach bunny with a chainsaw. What the fuck? Oh, I read that way wrong. Paperback Brewing's Beach Bunny with a Chainsaw. It's 6.4% pineapple fruited haze IPA. It's worth going to breakfast after one night stand. I've been there, brother, and it's a great time. Anyone else? All right, Mr. Scott. The other Scott is drinking from Red Bear Brewing, a tall, dark, and nutty. That's not me. Stout brewed with chocolate, vanilla, and other natural flavors. See, my natural flavors don't taste like that.
Because Scotty knows it's always stout season, baby. Scotty's one of the tried and true soldiers of the stout season, no matter what season is. So shout out to Scotty on that one.
It's way too fucking hot for me to be drinking that dark ass shit. I'm sorry, bro. No, I already want to shit loose as it is because of the fucking heat stroke. So no, I'm good. Y'all enjoy that shit though. And then Matt Barr, he's not drinking, he's just trying to shit on me. So thank you for keeping with the show thing. I appreciate that. And then, what the fuck? Y'all are a bunch of fucking alcoholics, goddamn.
I'm pretty sure Cesar does know that he has to talk. He was just letting me do my thing, Matt. Don't hate on Cesar. He picked up the reins when I dropped the damn ball just to start off the show, for Christ's sakes.
And then again, Matt Barr, Mr. I'm not gonna lie, Gabe used to be my number one hater, but then Matt Barr became my number one hater, which is cool. I love my haters, they're like my friends, except for that they call you out on the shit when you need to call you out on it. So Matt Barr is drinking from Devil's, what the fuck is this brewery's name? God, y'all need to make some normal shit up.
Devil's Backbone Brewing.
Yeah, sure. I'm in the devil's asshole right now.
Abduction Cool IPA. Solid 7.1 ABV. Says he'd have no problem approaching her at the bar. Out of Lexington, Virginia, which I didn't know there was a Lexington outside of Kentucky. So
isn't that like where 9/11 happened too?
Is that where the one plane was headed?
The triangle, my stupid ass.
The Pentagon.
Oh my god, my ass was thinking the fucking Illuminati. Yeah, the Pentagon.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The dynasty and Rockefeller had nothing to do with 9/11.
Yeah, no.
Don't perpetuate that myth.
And then JB's always drinking some sort of like wok, like alternative. I think it might be G, it might be someone else too. I know someone's only drinking.
No,
some
that's
sort of
JB. But I was just gonna say, I was like, usually it's Mookie who's coming in drinking the baby making juice. Speaking of Mookie, it looks like he's trying to get hooked up now. So that is like.
That's my dog. Bro. Anyways, so
and shout out to Tyson saying that that the strawberry Lipton is unexpectedly the best in the pack. Tyson, I actually go back and forth over which one I enjoy the most. I started out thinking there was no way anything could beat the half and half, and it just got better and better after that. Like, it depends on my mood, but the lemon is actually the sneaky one. Like the other ones being like more interesting flavors off the top of their heads. The lemon one, for as being as basic as it is, I actually kind of enjoy it the most. It's kind of why I saved it for last, but I'm not gonna lie, I do the entire box, so it doesn't matter. Cesar, the floor is yours.
I have a question. Do they taste like half and half?
No, they taste just like a hard tea with just like less lemon. It's like they use less lemon flavor than the lemon.
God damn.
Like, well, I mean, it's good. It's fine. It's just, it doesn't taste as much as an Arnold Palmer as you would expect. It just tastes like the lemon iced tea with slightly less lemon.
So,
but it's like, if you don't like lemon as much, it's less aggressive.
So shout out to JB for drinking the lemon LaCroix. Sorry. If you ever get a chance for my sparkling water, my sparkling flavored water people out there, Waterloo Cherry Limeade, crazy. Like a solid 7, 3 out of 10. So that's.
Wait, what is that? Like the flavored water?
Yeah. The sparkling water.
Yeah.
A Waterloo,
the cherry
based out of
lime.
Austin, Texas. Great. Phenomenal. And then Matt Barr with a great comment. A great all-time comment. Hove did 9/11.
Favorite conspiracy. We got the name.
9/11.
There we got the name of the show for Mike later on when he books this one into filing. Hove did 9/11 ? It'll get us all the views because people won't know whether or not that we're being serious.
And our big boy, Mookie, how you doing?
up,
Mookie,
y'all?
what's up, bro?
Hey, coming sprinting in here straight out of Great American Ballpark downtown. Just gonna the contrast a little right here, a little pasty right now, but doing
It's
well.
all good. The minute I sat down, my computer was like, "Oh, hey, internet's not going to work."
Now's the time for updates.
Yeah, no, it didn't even tell me I needed updates. It was just like, nah, I'm not connecting. Then I
what-
restarted and everything was fine. So go figure.
You know what would crack me up is if Cheryl had somehow snuck on your laptop and scheduled the updates to install every week on Tuesday at 8 p.m. just to really, really fuck with you low key. See, that's the problem, Sarah, is this is not actually pink. Like my shirt is purple. These sunglasses are like a fuchsia. So clearly my color is off here. But when someone invites you down to a red suite for a game for free, you go eat all their food till you feel like you're about to puke and sprint the hell out of there to get back for showtime. So sit tight. I'll get this sorted and look less alien. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I started with a Budweiser NA, but which was fire. And now switching back to my Heine Zero, which is also fire.
Scotty says that now that you being the extra degenerate gambler on the show, now that you joined, he wants to know what will occur more tonight, him correcting things or Cesar having to Google things.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to throw this bet out like MGM Grand because, Scott, if you're coming at us with the me correction things or Cesar Googles, like if you can't get the saying right, how are we going to let you burn our boy on something like that? So
I don't think he's trying to burn. I don't think he's trying to burn anybody. I think he's just asking the question, what does he think there'll be more of?
Should I talk about how I won big money on the U.S. women falling short, or are we saving that for later?
No, I was gonna say, I was like, get to that in just a second. You're good with what you're drinking. You're drinking another non-alcoholic brew.
Banging all day, every day, man. All day, every day. They're getting better.
Question, Mook.
What's up?
Is there Heineken Silver NAs?
I don't know. That's a good question because I saw them and I almost got them, but then I saw that they were still the ones with booze in them. So I was like, oh, wait, but I'll let you know. I'm going to start digging into this because there's more and more out there now. I saw an article this weekend where they're making non-alcoholic flavored liqueurs. So you can go all in on like the true mocktail thing. So we're going to keep walking this journey and see what we can find, but I'll keep eyes out there. And Rex saying silver is no NA. So they may not have a NA version of it yet, but give it time. Give it time.
It's fantastic. It's so great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had the silver at the Heine Silver at Q2 in Austin. I was like, where has this been my entire life?
Dude,
I hate
love
beer,
Heineken,
but it's the beer I hate the least. That makes any sense. You would think after fucking a year, almost year and a half of doing this, I like beer. No, still not very big for me.
You'll get there.
Everyone, we got a great year for you. I hope it doesn't go as tits up. Is that the right phrase?
I don't know. Is that what the kids are saying?
I have no idea. I thought it was an older white person thing.
Yeah, that kind of does have OWG feel to it.
Well, all right. Well, should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. As Cesar alluded to, and as Mookie is about to tell us, I'm sure with all his genetic gambling, women are out, guys. That was a very short-lived World Cup run. There will be no three-peat. Barely made it into the pool of 16 for where the cuts actually started. Didn't score a goal the last, was it 2 or 3 games we played? Holy shit. More or less a complete outright disaster, right? I mean, I know winning 3 in a row is tough, but I think that we were all expecting just a little bit more if we did stumble. I'm not the huge soccer guy. I'm going to let you two actually talk about why this happened and what the hell we can do to get it fixed. But what the fuck, guys?
It's the coaching, man. Sorry, but it all rests there. Wow, look at that. I'm like really white. God, I almost feel attacked. But do we have any race cards yet? Did I miss any? Or are we?
No, we're good.
Nah, I don't think we've done any race cards.
All right, give it time. Yeah, it starts at the top. Head coach didn't have a system, didn't know what to do, made 0 adjustments, 0 changes. We are still, I'll say, top 5 in the world talent-wise. Like top to bottom, our roster, the people we could field on the field, like put on the pitch, should have at least made it to the quarters without even really working hard. But, and JB, sorry, but I feel like, I'm not here to entertain the haters who are like they were distracted by off the field stuff, this, that, and the other. you know, at a certain point when you're basically fighting uphill against your own system and tactics, like you're going to get frustrated and feel out of whack. Again, it's like if you took a run and gun quarterback and stuck them in a power run system, it's going to take time. And even then, it's not guaranteed to get you to the championship. So as the rest of the world catches up to us skill wise, investment wise, that's where coaching and strategy and all that stuff becomes even more important. We had none of it. We had basically Marvin Lewis coaching our soccer team. So what do you expect?
Marvin Lewis is a stretch. I'd say fucking Charlie Strong.
There you go.
Ooh.
Dog shit coach for Texas. Exactly. It was terrible. Recruited the fuck out of everyone, but I mean, we lost a bunch of fucking games and now we're a laughing stock of the state.
Well, see, but Marvin Lewis at least made the playoffs, but he never won a playoff game. You know what I mean? So he was on that. Yeah.
What do you mean he never won a game?
I mean, never won a playoff game. Ever.
Trash. Like the women's national team.
Yep.
So my thing with this is that I'm going to preface everything by my mom got mad at me for shitting on them. And she was like, "Hi, Mijo, why are you shitting on women?" I'm like, "Look, Mom, this is what equality is about. I'm going to shit on everyone if you fucking suck.
Yep, that's right.
If you're a guy, you fucking suck. I'm going to tell you fucking suck."
Yep.
I suck a lot. As someone who's kind of winged it his entire life, I can tell you when I'm sucking dick. Pause. Yeah, pause. They were sucking dick. Pause. I'll even go and say that the men's national team had a better World Cup than the women's national team.
That's a spicy meatball. But what's your qualifier for that though? Like, is it just because of expectations coming in, or is it just? I mean, like that's
Cesar.
pretty bold statement.
Ready?
Reset on it one more time. Reset the take one more time.
The men's national team had a better World Cup than the women's national team. That's my take.
Oh, damn it.
Hot.
I thought that doesn't play
I was
the
gonna say
sound.
that doesn't have the
Oh, here we go.
the music behind it. Is that what you're looking for?
We don't. I guess it doesn't have to sizzle either, but whatever. That's a hot fucking take, man. I think it's a
Can
really
you turn
hot
it down more?
Yeah. Well,
This is like Dad is at.
I'm just working with the way Mike's got this configured.
The kids are playing with the fucking instruments.
Hey, quit touching that! God damn it!
Put that shit away.
Okay, but no,
Cesar,
seriously, like
That's
wait,
a hot
what,
take.
I was just gonna say, like, what's the backup of that take, Caesar? Like,
So-
give me the breakdown of why you think that is.
The U.S. men had a harder group. What the fuck? Okay, the men had a harder group. One, they played, I'd say, even better in comparison to what the women did against what they had in terms of competition. And then we scored goals. And then the team we lost to, we were completely outclassed by, lost to the fucking World Cup champions. I don't know if Sweden's going to win the World Cup.
No, they're definitely not. I can tell you that right now. France. Vive la France.
Even if the baguettes win, like, that's cool.
The baguettes.
They still, like, the men, again, just like how JB just said, the men at least played for the competition and tight teams that when they were supposed to get smoked by them.
Yep.
The women played down to them. They're 2011, 12, and 13 Texas. They played up and down to the competition. For me to say the last time you scored a goal was in a draw with the Netherlands, at that fact, it sounds like, all right, cool, they played decently, right? But no, they only put 3 against Vietnam when the last time we encountered them was in a fucking war.
Conflict. Armed conflict.
Conflict.
We
armed
put more
conflict.
bodies in Vietnam than we did goals in the entire World Cup.
Sounds awful when you say it like that, though.
Am I wrong?
Nope. That's why I
I
get
mean,
the rap air
I'm
horn.
not saying you are, but eesh.
It's just a bar. That's all I can say. So it's crazy that it's come to that because, again, it's this thing of like arrogance that I saw in the team. And you know what? Let me be positive before I start shitting on them all over again because I don't want to make my mom mad for like shitting on women, even though I told her like I should on
All
everyone.
right, you want me to
equally when
take
they
a
suck.
turn because I'm ready to jump in and deuce a little.
Is this positives or negatives?
It's more so just the reality, man. Like with the talent we had and the leadership I would expect out of a Haran, Morgan, Rapinoe, Ertz, they should be able to figure something out. The fact that they look so anemic, not just in the tie with the Netherlands, but also then into their final tie with no, not Sweden. Who the fuck was that even? I don't even remember anymore. Or Portugal. Like, I just don't understand how they were that flat for that long. And I really would have expected more out of those women as leaders, as people have been around there to bring the young girls up to a certain point. And I still think they weren't done any favors with the lineup put on the field and the tactics trying to be executed. But like, you mean to tell me that the only difference between a team that looked threatening and pushing forward against Vietnam and then the last two matches was Rose Lavelle? Like, there's no other option. There's nothing else we could do differently or anything else we could change up to break through. Like, just awful shit.
When you speak to Rose Lavelle, it brings up, this is what I'll say that was positive. Emily Sonnett did a great job. I think she did a great job for filling in for Rose and doing what she had to do to kind of give some sort of cohesiveness to the team. And there was everything, I say, defense and midfield, considering that we had possession, was solid. The attacking three, dog shit. But that's what they've been the entire World Cup. And you had said Rapinoe, dude. Rapinoe was like Jordan on the Bobcats. Granted, he didn't play, but he was a terrible fucking owner.
It looks so bad. Because the other thing is that, like, even if the attacking front three were that bad, the midfield should have been able to figure it out. Take that second tier, push them forward, play the ball wide on the wings, like do other things to attack the other team, pull them out of their spaces. And yeah, maybe it was an ill-timed rap air horn, Matt Barr, but I stand by it because he goes, Scott, it's awful when you see that. Mookie, blah, 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 blah. I thought it was fire, so I played the air horn. Thank you for your service, Matt Barr.
I thought he was just doing you laughing. I didn't realize he was doing the air horn. But
oh yeah,
Scott also says that Vietnamese war protesters had more success than the women's team, and they lit themselves on fire. Yikes!
My favorite part.
Got to be consistent, right?
Yeah, you got to be consistent. Consistency is key, which we didn't have. And again, Rapinoe being so dog shit was when she missed again with the arrogance. This is like what my initial point was before I started rambling, like always. She misses the fucking pen, right? And she's laughing. Bro, I would have been crying. I would have taken off my boot. I would have gone full like toxic ex-boyfriend. I'm gonna kill myself if you break up with me. Ah! I would have gotten the soccer boot and started fucking smashing my head in. Like, no, I just fucked over my country, even though I told him I was a dog, but I'm not. I'm a cat. I'm a bitch.
Yeah, it was bad, dude. It was bad. It was a bad way to see a lot of those women go out too, because I don't know if we're gonna see better than Rapinoe and Ertz when you look over the balance of their career. I don't think Morgan's come out and said she's done, but still, I don't think she's anything more than, you know, someone you bring in the 65th to finish out the match and get some fresh legs.
And 4 more years for sure. Like,
yeah,
I mean, and this was probably her last one at the prime, right? I mean, this was her last one to star.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's not super old, but like there's 18-year-olds running around in the field
super
and
bad.
Yeah, I mean, that is also true.
Yeah,
So I can't wait to
four,
see her sit
4
up
years
and
ain't
do
gonna
an analysis.
take that away either. I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
As Tyson points out, the 2 C's in success are consistency and consent. Wouldn't you say so, Cesar?
Consent and consistency are the most important things in life. You got to consistently get consent.
That's right.
And that makes you a successful human being.
Okay, so I guess the question is, where do they go from here? Like, what happens now? How do they get back to going back into the next one just as confident, only with hopefully much better results? Like, what do they have to do to fix the next 4 years to make it better?
Fire the whole coaching staff. I mean, I think that's the good news. Is I think the system's not broken. Our program isn't broken. Like we got women working their ways
talent.
Up. Yeah, great talent on and off the pitch. You know, we've got the athleticism, the pace, the creativity. We've got what we need. We've got solid goalkeeping. Our back line, I worry about a little bit, but again, if we can get back to the U.S. of old, like no one gives a shit about your back line because you're so dominant on the front. But really, the key is just Vlatko needs to go. Like they need to kick him to the curb and move on because. Oh, wait, is it Andonovsky? Who's Vlatko?
It doesn't fucking matter. He's going to get fucking fired. Hey, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Good fucking riddance, buddy. Go back to fucking Europe because I don't want you anymore on the US of A. I don't give a fuck. You gave us the worst performance ever. And half of me was upset. 100% upset.
And I don't know what he was doing either. Like, what was his strategy? Just roll them all out there?
Be dog shit.
Be dog shit. But see, Cesar, I feel even if that's what he told them to do is go out there and be dog shit for 90 minutes, we'd seen something more entertaining that way we did.
This is,
The
I mean,
fucking coach.
I know JB made the comparison, and I guess we're just gonna keep patting him on the back. But I mean, this is very similar to that 2004 Olympic men's team in basketball, isn't it? Where it's just like, oh shit, everything, it doesn't just work as far as rolling the ball out there and just expecting to win anymore. Now we actually have to do something. The rest of the world's caught up enough that we can't just like line up the most talented players in the world. They got to like fit together. They got to be coached well. And then, the talent can take over from there. So, I mean, again, I hate admitting that JB is right, but he kind of fucking nailed it based on everything that happened, didn't he?
It's kind of depressing that that's our reality right now, too. But, we're not going to give him an air horn, though, right? We can agree on that.
No, I mean, he gets a you're right. Like, I mean, how often do we acknowledge that our listeners were right and we might have just been wrong? You don't get an air horn for that. You just get an acknowledgement and we move the fuck on. We press on, damn it.
So is Ted Lasso the answer then? Because I think Matt Barr might be onto something here.
I would hire Ted Lasso.
Because I don't really think they need an actual coach to coach this team. They just need someone to hold the clipboard and get the fuck out of the girl's way. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like you could have let that team make their lineup, call their subs, set up their formation, their tactics, and they would have had, I'll tell you, I'd call right.
Why didn't they just
5
do
points
that though? Like, why didn't they just do that? At least like, I mean, the last game before the pool play, why didn't they just fucking go like, all right. I mean, I know that elimination was technically on the line, but holy shit. Based on what they did the last 3 games, they didn't have anything to lose, right? Except for going home early. Like, I mean,
I think they were just stuck in a mind fuck, man. They just couldn't get themselves out of the funk that they were in from, because again, you got to keep in mind too that even though they didn't have
my face, get the funk out of my face.
They didn't have time they were together for probably a good solid, like what, 2.5 months leading into this. And so they had to basically deprogram themselves of Vladko's coaching from all that period in the span of like what, 4 days between the second match and the third. So it's just disappointing, but I guess at least it's over now. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are really happy it's over though.
It might be over, but look, as a wise man once told me, I think I saw this in a video game. It might have been fucking Red Dead Redemption. Peril is not always one that we stay with. And we, as a country and the women's national team, have a bright future. This very much reminds me of like 2002, 2003, when they got fucking skunked by Brazil in that World Cup. And then they won like 3 straight. Well, no, they lost to Japan. But I don't really count that because Japan had the tsunami and the earthquake. So, like, did we really lose to them? We lost to a tsunami. Now, you can't beat weather. So
you can't.
That one doesn't really count.
It's basically how everyone knew the Yankees and the Giants were going to win the championship after 9/11, right? Like it's just a given. So why fight it?
But the Yankees didn't. The Diamondbacks did.
Yeah, I know, but it makes a better story if the Yankees did. So I'm just gonna remember
that was part of the reason I didn't want it to happen, is because everybody was claiming like, oh, the city needs this, the people of New York need this, and I was like, yeah, but baseball fans don't need the Yankees winning another one, so fuck them. And fuck their narrative.
So yes, I believe in the women. We'll be fine. If it means I have to have a dog shit, and I mean not even DAWG dog, like DOG, Smokey, my dog shitting on the concrete shit. Like it was terrible. Like, dog shit. And we went 3 straight. I'll take it.
I was going to say Tank has it solved because he says the women's national team needs to get Jason Brown, the white head coach from Compton, from Last Chance U.
Hell no, bro.
I mean, that'd be entertaining for like the 3 days he survived on the job before they fired him for harassment.
So Matt wants more Red Dead Redemption references from you, Cesar.
So Arthur Morgan will live forever in my heart and my mind.
Arthur Morgan.
I love that man. I'm named my dog Arthur. Almost.
Tyson wants to know what your grandpa would say about this women's national team.
No, hombre, no le verga las pinches huercas. Translation. Nah, they don't fuck. Nah, they can't do worth of shit. Fucking girls. We need to get better ones. They can't be resembling my damn country. I didn't move from Mexico for this.
I mean,
But that's
Mexicans
essentially-
women team didn't exactly show up either, though. So
That's what he doesn't claim. I mean, he does, right? Like our food is better, our beer is better. Mostly everything's better except for sports.
I mean, none of those
And
things are
politics.
controversial, though, Cesar. Like, what
Yeah.
controversial thing would he claim?
Scott also with one of his first of many corrections tonight.
I was wondering, who
Giants
was going to
didn't
catch
win
that one
the
too.
Super Bowl either. Pictures. I missed you saying that. I immediately heard Yankees and was like, "Nope, wait, make
Nope,
sure
fuck
we
those
correct-"
guys.
I was gonna
Pieces of
say,
shit.
make sure we correct that history. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even catch you saying that the Patriots.
But see, now I have a question. So tank with this comment again, saying Jason Brown. If you had to pull someone not soccer related to coach the women's national team that would do a better job than Vlaco, who would you pick? It could be fictional. It could be a real person. They could be dead. It could be a fucking president. It could be Putin for all I care about because he'd do a better job than fucking Vlaco, and he's a real Russian.
I'm gonna
So-
tell you right now, you do exactly what the U.S. basketball team did. Get fucking Coach K. Problem solved. Coach K would turn this boat around.
Scott, who would you pick? It could be your favorite baseball manager, anyone.
to fix the women's national team.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just hypothetical. Just a great coach.
I mean, I hate to admit it. Like, I mean, that worked for the men's team. Like, shit, I almost said Pat Summitt. Then I'm like, ooh, back up. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, that might be hard. Although Cesar did said alive or dead. So
Well, yeah, I mean, I would get,
game.
yeah, I mean, I'd get like the most badass women's coach. I mean, I'd get Pat Summitt. Like, if Pat Summitt was like, hey, I'll whip him into shape. Like, why not?
See,
Hold
I'd get Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'd be like, look,
Peter Ginsburg.
I'd be like, look, if I'm her, look, I did all this shit for you. Title IX, me. You're playing me. So go honor me on the pitch right now. If you don't, I might take that shit away. So you tell me, Mika.
Tank wants to know if Huggins is still a free agent.
no, he's not. He's not fired. He's not a free agent. He's still in fighting his termination, man. So he's still employed.
Technically.
Also, I got a Tyson dropping in and mentioning Dusty Baker.
Why are we booing a person of color?
Well, and not only
We're
that,
not.
he
We're
just
booing
won a
a
World
bad
Series
team.
Yeah, we're
championship.
booing a champion of
How
color.
are you gonna boo?
Hey, they shouldn't equal anymore. It's two
Well, so wait,
against
hold
one.
on. I'll tell you
He
what.
finally
If-
wins.
If we can specify Astros Dusty Baker, okay. But if we're talking Cincinnati Reds Dusty Baker, get the fuck out. Just get out you know where the door is.
So, crowd, leave your comments of who would be a better coach than Vlaco. I'll read them out. Matt Barr dropped.
What do we think about Scott's pick? Tony La Russa?
I gotta do sober Tony La Russa. I don't want the one that gets pulled over talking about I'm Tony La Russa. I got rings. Like, give me sober Tony.
I
Also,
just saw-
shout out to Robert Taylor for saying what we're all thinking right now, that Mike is really the glue that holds this shit together. Jesus.
I believe we knew that though.
Yeah, I don't think that was a secret. I think it was just a reminder.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say there's never any doubt. Every time he's gone, we tell him, please don't do that again. It was the best of times. It was the absolute worst of times.
Yeah, this is pretty
Is that
rough,
Robert
but-
Frost?
Tale of Two Cities, my friend.
Bars. Look, I'm trying to win point here. I'm trying my best. It's the first time I had 2 minutes with this shit. But hey, I'll take the lashings on my back or some shit like that.
No, Caesar,
That's
you're
not the
fine.
first-
You're fine.
This is getting too deep, man. No, this is about on par. Because to be fair, I think Scott, how much prep work you usually do for this? About 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
3 minutes is a lot.
Yeah, that's
I'd
pushing
say
it.
about 90 seconds. I mean, we used to do a whole bunch of show prep, and then it became silly because we'd
We
spend
never
most of
got
our
to it.
time talking at least a half hour of the show on some random tangent that never came up pre-show or in our wildest dreams. Would we be like, hey, we should talk about insert whatever here? I mean, for weeks we made shows and entire segments out of different uses for the N-word. Like, I mean, that's been a running gag. Like the fact that we're gonna break that streak this week because we haven't randomly accidentally stumbled into some sports related news topic where the N-word was swapped out for something. I mean, we get widgets and nougat isn't gonna be beat this week. I'm kind of upset.
So do we peel back the curtain a little bit, and do you want to tell the story that that happened to you and Mike this
Before
weekend?
we do that, I need to mention something. Tank
Get
with
it.
one of the greatest fucking comments I've seen. Paul Heyman, hey, fuck Paul Heyman, fuck Roman Reigns. I will not acknowledge my tribal chief. Main event, Jey Uso is gonna take the fucking title at WrestleMania next year. The real ones. Jimmy Uso, fuck you. Suck my dick, Jimmy Uso. What you did, irreparable. Irreparable. It might be worse than 9/11, what Jimmy Uso did at SummerSlam this past weekend. Fuck you,
Damn.
Jimmy Uso. We
Did
the
he kick-
ones forever. Main event, Jay, for life. That's it. I'm done.
Did he kick a puppy?
Okay, so spoilers. Bam, bam, bam. Spoilers if you have Peacock and didn't watch SummerSlam. So Jey Uso hits Roman with his own spear. Fucking God, like kills him, bro.
I feel like
Back
that's
gone.
pretty hard.
Yeah, it's hard as fuck. So then Roman's all bitch like he is, fucking laying down. Oh, I can't get up. I'm a bitch. I fucking gaslight my entire family, but I'm a champion and Paul sucks my dick. Rah, 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 rah. Jay gets on top of him. 1, 2. And then right when the ref's gonna go 3, fucking Jimmy Uso, who was in the hospital, pulls him out. Mind you, these are all cousins.
Oh,
Pulls him
Oh.
out. Jimmy's like, what the fuck just happened? I mean, Jay's like, what the fuck just happened? Jimmy hits him with a super kick, throws him back into the ring. Fucking Roman spears him through a table. 1, 2, 3. Match over. Main event, Jay got fucked. Roman's still our champion.
you know what that just reminded me of, though?
A bunch of, I was
So-
thinking
No.
more along the
No.
lines
So-
of that was a whole lot of build up to get to. Yeah, that's why I don't watch wrestling anymore. It sounds like bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
Sounds
It's
like
like
bullshit.
movies, IRL, and ACL tears.
I just like the 1, 2, 3, and all I can think of is just like, oh, hit me with the 4. Get to the 4. But Tank does want to know, Cesar, does your grandpa fuck with Lucha Libre?
My first ever wrestling mask was from El Toro that my grandpa bought me from Monterrey. It's like the blue one with the fucking silver bull on the front. Yeah, bro, he's a dog.
Dude, that's sweet. Like legit brought from Monterey. Like,
Bro, fuck you. Wrestling's hard as shit. So I'm gonna do this shit forever because we don't ever fucking talk about it. So fuck you.
I'll tell you what, these days, if I had to choose between watching a UFC fight and a WWE event, I'd probably go WWE. I used to love MMA too, but I just feel like there's just
Tyson wants to know what's worse,
Dry.
soccer or wrestling.
Your fucking profile. Fuck you too.
boom, roasted.
No, Tyson, we're not going to talk hockey. It's hockey's off season. I haven't prepared as much as I know about hockey, and being the hockey expert, I stay up on everything, but I do not know about the hockey goings on right this second. So we're going to save that until, you know.
Speaking of which, Scott, is
expect.
this the year we get you into some fantasy hockey?
I've played fantasy hockey before.
Ooh, all right. Well,
I actually
let's
made the
bring that
playoffs
down.
in fantasy hockey before. It's like an 8-team league, and I'm pretty sure 4
Everyone
of
made the
teams-
playoffs.
Well, no, but 4 of the teams, like right after the draft, are pretty much done. So I made it by default. But fuck it,
Hey,
I got
there you
in.
go. Well,
That's
you know, it
the
doesn't
one
matter.
and only time I've ever done it.
They say the most important ability is availability, Scott, and you live that out to a T, and you got your playoff paycheck.
Works for
Mm.
me.
Why does JB think he's going to bail out this show? He has yet to do anything bailout worthy. Oh man,
So Jey Uso wasn't the only one that went through a table, got knocked on the floor. Our buddy Tim Anderson got knocked on the floor, so that takes us into
Here's the pitch. Oh, shit.
baseball. Scott, run it.
Holy shit. So, in case you missed it, because, you know, we're not allowed to fucking show video of this shit.
wait,
Saturday
we're not? Why
night-
not?
I don't know, because it's much longer than like 10 seconds. Plus, I didn't think you had it queued up and ready to go. Mike,
Oh,
Mike, what are you doing?
yeah, get it
You're
together,
ready to
Mike.
go?
Jesus, we never had this problem when Joe was around. Oh, he's actually talking to someone. I thought he was making a ploy to talk to Mike off screen when we know he's.
No, just my child bothering me at the most inopportune time. But anyway,
This is going so well today, boys.
Cleveland, Chicago, White Sox, Guardians. Hard slide into second, although it wasn't really much of a hard slide by Jose Ramirez. Tim Anderson standing there, hits him with the tag. Next thing you know, tempers flare. Tim Anderson drops his glove and
Down
knuckles,
goes Anderson. Down
knuckles up.
goes Anderson.
The problem with knuckling up is if you are going to knuckle up, you cannot be the one to get knocked out. And despite throwing a few punches, Anderson was knocked out promptly within a few seconds by Jose Ramirez, down to the ground. Embarrassing for pretty much everybody, but nobody more so than Anderson, whose pride was also left on the ground. It's very rare. In fact, it's been since Cesar, this happened in your state, so but the last time any
Bautista?
like fists were actually like thrown was Bautista and Ronald Odor there in Texas, and between Texas and the Blue Jays. Same situation though, where it was like slide into second base, and next thing you know, fists are flying. But Jesus Christ, if you're gonna be the aggressor in these situations, you can't be the first one to go down. That's fucking sure.
Dude, and that's the thing is, like, I was watching with my wife, and Jenna goes, "Hey, what do you mean he didn't go down?" I'm like, "No, that he was out, man. He he was out. The door was open, but the lights weren't on. You know what I mean? Like, he got caught by his teammate, or else he would have planted on his ass." Do we want to risk getting banned and share a screen to show this video?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Why not? Like, Mike's not here. What do we have to lose?
Look, we have nothing to lose. Run it.
0 things.
No. Oh, boy.
Plus, watch how quickly he bucks. Like, look at that. That's a good stance for him to get knocked through there. Oh, he did. Okay, he did plant right on the ground. Yep. Yep.
That's the problem. Like, you knuckle up, and a couple punches get thrown. But I mean, Anderson went down really fast. Like, it happened so quickly. It wasn't until the I think third or fourth time I was watching it that I realized what actually happened to Anderson, because everything kind of gets mixed up there, and depending on the angle you see, you can't really see Anderson get hit, but he went down and he was out cold.
And I hate to say this and admit it, but we kind of got to give it to JB. He says, if you're going to be the aggressor, you can't be the first to go down. You need consent first. You earned that one, my man. I can't keep that one from you because, that's exactly it.
So another tidbit from Grandpa Nate I hear. He's always told me, mijo, pues chingao. If you need to get into a fight, you better fucking make sure he goes down when you hit him the first time. Because if not, you're going to be throwing up at the end of it because we all know you don't run enough.
Dude, that is solid right there. Hold on.
Race car.
And was he wrong?
I was just gonna say, I don't know how it had anything to do with race. He's
legit just clicked the wrong thing.
I was gonna say he's talking about his grandson. So nothing racist about that. He was just giving good grandfatherly advice.
I mean, that's
I think
the
everybody's
epic.
grandfather could tell them that their grandchild that they don't get enough cardio.
Matt Barr pointing out Abuelo with the fuego.
For you know what, I don't want to give him the clap just because that's proper Spanish for the first one. That ain't like cringe. So you know what, I'll give you a clap.
Which also, by the way, like if you know Abuelo and fuego, I feel like you should also know with and the. Like
no,
it's not that hard. It's just
that's what I mean.
It's just con él.
Right. Like, how you going to hit those first two but not get the other?
I would still screw it up, and I took all the Spanish.
I tell you what, don't ever. I took Spanish in high school, and I went to college. I was like, let me switch it up, and I'll try Italian. Fucking terrible idea. They're so similar. I ended up writing Spanish in my Italian assignments and, like, failing shit because it's, like, too close to one another to be able to actually separate in my moronic brain.
So, rule of thumb, you start with Spanish, and then you move to the other Romance languages. Because Spanish is apparently the easiest one. But no, yeah. And then, well, I mean, the conversation then became, hey, like, I do get cardio in, like, mind you, I was like 16. And then I eventually, years later, told him that I got into, like, well, I didn't get into a fight. I was fucking sucker punched at this one party that was like gunshots at and shit. It was crazy.
Damn, where you going to party, dude?
It was a darty, a day party. I think we've had this conversation on the show before.
Darty.
Yeah,
those
a
can be
darty.
dangerous.
So we went, and my friend, he was like dating like a stripper at the time.
Whoa.
And
what was that like?
I mean, he was like, I guess an acquaintance. Like I said, friend lightly. He was more so an acquaintance. But he took her and her friends to like the darty, and the two guys came with the fanny pack, And me and my best friend were like, yeah, like imagine they have a gun in the fanny pack. So next thing you know, shit hits the fan. My friend's fighting one of the guys because one of the guys hit my friend in the eye, and he's walking away. He's walking just like, hey, wait, I got hit. Black eye. So it's like, hey, what the fuck? Runs towards the guys. The guy's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He throws up, but then runs at my friend to like swing. I start running. I see him get hit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, shit's hitting the fan. And the thing is, my friend, when he swings, he's swinging heavy and motherfuckers are going down. He's a big boy. And I've seen the knockout to punch ratio is like 1-to-1. Maybe
That's
like
solid
2-to-1.
there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a good ratio.
Yeah, he's got
they
power.
say.
He's got power. So next thing you know, I'm running. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Let me get him. So I get him. I grab him. I turn around. I turn back around. Boom. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm swinging blind. I'm just rah, rah, rah. I make contact with someone. I wake up. I see someone on the floor. I'm like, I doubt that was me. I run away. Next thing you know, pa, 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 pa. My heart sinks to my ass. I'm like, I can't die right now. I didn't even get my degree. I just want to get my degree before I die.
You can't get arrested for Dewey when you have a degree, and you can't die before you have a degree. So those are the two superpowers related to degrees, y'all, just in case you're keeping track of.
Yeah. So I see the guy on the floor. Gunshots go off. And I told my grandpa this story. He's like, pues chinga. If I were you, I'd say I hit him because I honestly you could have knocked someone out, and you did. And I'm like, wow. And I was like, I don't think that was me. Hey, just tell people it was you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my fight story. And then again with the Odor thing. Elvis Andrus, I don't know. I say his name Hispanic as fuck. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Yeah, Elvis Andrus, you're good.
Andrus, he's been a part of both of those. He was
Wait,
there
was
in
he in
Texas, and he was on the White Sox.
Oh shit!
Really?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's Andrews who the brawls actually follow, even though he's never been involved directly in them.
Yeah, he's been the shortstop for both of them, which is fucking crazy. Because Batista, the craziest thing, Jose Bautista is never going to be the most famous Bautista. Because the Batista bomb is way more famous than Jose Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, and then like the suspensions were low. Like they weren't even
Yeah.
like for fighting in baseball. Like usually they're much higher, like in general, and punches aren't thrown, but Anderson got 6 games, Jose Ramirez got 3, and then you had a handful of other guys who got 1 and some fines. But I mean, usually Major League Baseball comes down pretty damn hard on shit like this. I feel like 6 is pretty easy for being the aggressor and getting knocked out. Like Tim Anderson's played this year.
Was it like, oh, you also got knocked on your ass, so like we're gonna take it a little bit easier on you because of it? Like,
yeah, but I mean, you also give them a number, and then you're like, well, they're gonna they're gonna negotiate this down, so you throw a few off, but you know.
God, again, I don't know if this is air horn worthy, but JB saying Tim got 6 games, but he's gonna miss way less because he's still not awake.
bars.
All right. Well.
JP, you're having a show. You're having a great thing.
JB is having himself a hell of a show.
Sometimes I find
you-
a groove.
Between
Game
getting
respects
credit
game.
for being right for the last few weeks about the women's national team and coming in dropping knowledge in the chat, he's nailing it this week.
So
My favorite part of the whole ordeal again was the Cleveland sports radio guy where he's like, down goes Anderson, and then the way I never realized how biased regional sports radio was.
Oh my God.
they're awful.
Why do you think Scott
awful.
listens to
Hosey
baseball
never
radio?
gets upset like that. Hosey never gets upset like that. But down goes Anderson. I was like, I need to watch more regional baseball. And then our king, our Jesus, our glue, Mike Burlon. My favorite part was when a reporter asked, Francona goes Hosey's left hand, and without missing a beat, Francona goes his right hand.
No, see, my favorite part.
Sorry, but hold on. Also,
I've seen white people before. You know what I'm saying? But you motherfucker, man, you white as mayonnaise, man.
I feel
Just
like
give Mike that just for the fuck of it.
because Cesar hit him with the hardcore nerdy white kid voice too, and it fit.
Oh, okay. Well, like him saying that though, my favorite part was Francona in the post game when he was talking about when somebody asked him if he had heard the call from the Cleveland announcer, and he's like,
Oh, nice.
"Yeah, that whole thing wasn't funny. I chuckled, but it wasn't funny. But I chuckled. I mean, because how could you not chuckle at the situation? But it's not funny." He wanted to make sure that everybody knew, like, it was inappropriate as shit. But you hear that radio call and you can't do anything but laugh. Like, it was biased as fuck, but it was also just hysterical. Like,
It's what baseball
evoking
needs.
the whole Frazier thing. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was like, if you drop somebody in and we're like, hey, check out this baseball highlight, and they're like, holy shit, does this happen like a lot? It's like, no, this happens once maybe every decade or so, and you know, this is an extreme case of it. Usually it's just dudes running out and playing patty cake and everybody congregates and then goes back. But hey, it's pretty awesome when it does happen, right?
I also got to force this in here because I don't know how else I could casually ease this in.
Consent.
Well, you're right. Consent's important, but as Berdan said, mayo is just lube if you're brave enough.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. As someone who's
Gross.
lactose intolerant and believed there was dairy in eggs for the longest time, it's just not. Now that I know that it's not, I'm still not fucking with it. I'm not. That mayo's crazy. Have I used lube before? Yeah, but never for that. I've never used mayo for that shit. That's crazy.
Well, maybe you should try. It sounds like it might be a good time.
I don't want my sheets smelling like ass for a whole fucking week.
Oh, also,
Scotty
Wait, I could just wash them. I'm sorry.
Scotty wanted to point out that the radio announcer for Cleveland is Tom Hamilton, which one of the best in the biz, but most people don't know Tom Hamilton, so could have said any generic white guy name there and it would have worked.
which speak a generic white guy named Tom Hamilton. Whew, that shouts it from the rafters. Also, Matt Barr pointing out mayonnaise doesn't have dairy.
That's what I
So-
said. I corrected
okay.
myself. I was like, even though I now know that there isn't dairy in mayo, I still don't want to use it as a lube. It sounds very insanitary.
There's no dairy, but there's eggs in it, right? Like you still don't want that shit like outside the fridge. You don't want it just hanging out once you
well,
open
yeah,
it,
you
it
don't
needs to
leave-
be refrigerated.
You don't,
like-
yeah, you don't leave the mayo next to the side of the bed. You just kind of go and grab it when things are about to pop off or when you're making a sandwich.
What about fucking spit? Was
there's-
spit lost in the equation?
There's not as much flavor in spit, though.
Bro, I don't want to eat mayo before I go eat box. Like
How do you know? If you've never tried, you can't say you don't want that. You just don't know yet.
I barely like mayo as it is. One, it's great on sandwiches, but on
I was going to
box,
say, it
I
can
don't
really,
think so.
it can make the difference in a sandwich. And
But on
which
box?
again,
But hold on, Cesar. I don't want to eat mayo before I eat box.
you'd be eating them
Those are
both
the
together.
Quotes of the night.
Again, this is why we don't do show prep and we don't make the list anymore, because who the fuck would have known or will remember 54 minutes in, we're talking about mayonnaise on the cooter.
Except for when we tell Mike, mayonnaise on boxes. There's your theme of the show for the night.
I mean, yeah, I feel like
no
that would
other
get a kicker
context.
too.
No other context. Just mayonnaise and boxes.
I have a question.
Ooh.
Okay, so you buy mayo at the grocery store in a warm aisle.
Yes.
Then you put it in the fridge. Why can't you just take it out and leave it out on the
Because
counter?
when you break this seal, you break the vacuum that's keeping it like preserved or whatever, like sanitary.
Sarah making a very good point though, man.
Oh, fire, hard.
It's
Throw
like-
some lime in
absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
Some
It's cold.
pico de gallo.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean it's called tuna salad for a reason, so there's that. I mean, also.
Oh
again,
wait, tuna? No, mine. No, I'm not eating bugs that taste like tuna. No, ma'am.
Oh, box that tastes like tuna. Oh no, I think she's talking more about in general. But yeah,
she's
Caesar,
just talking in general, but
Yeah.
yes, thank you for
No,
freaking.
you should
no,
stay
no.
away from that box.
No, she's a smart woman. That was a double entendre. I know what she was doing.
Yes, but
She was
but
luring you to the
any-
edge.
Yes, any kitty that smells like tuna. No, don't mix that with mayo. No, that's not no bueno. Did I do my Spanish right there? No bueno.
Yeah, that was solid. I
What
understood.
is tuna in Spanish?
Okay, cool.
Ready? Are you ready?
Tuna.
Tuna.
Oh man! All right.
I was waiting for it to
Label.
be something generic as fuck.
Tuna.
It's just T-U-N-Y. Hey, tuna.
Oh man, you're gonna get. I'm gonna start having flashbacks to 7th grade Spanish where I had to spell shit in Spanish, and I'm like, I can barely do it in English. You want me to do this in Spanish?
Just put an accent over all the N's and you'll be fine. Like you
Well,
might
but I
get it
feel
right
like that's
accidentally.
mildly racist.
It
Mildly.
probably is, but I'm just saying, when in doubt, it's just like throwing when you're like say something in Spanish and you just throw an L in front of it, like
L.
regardless what it is. Like I'm going to
tuna?
El Caro. Like
Oh God, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because carro is just double R. It's just R. It's just R. It's just double R because that's its
that's
own
what I'm
letter.
saying. Like
And
if
then
you're gonna just do it like
is double L.
super American, you just throw an L and an O at the whatever the word is in English, and you're
Yep.
good to go. Like that's Spanish.
I feel like that they're clamoring for this for you in the comments, Cesar. I think that
I do.
I think it was for the tuna.
Oh.
Tuna.
It's 'cause, like, I went back in my mind and I was like, I've only heard it called one thing. My grandma, she's like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, vamos a comer tuna. And, okay, but a weird thing is, so there's like prickly pears in like at least in my family, we call them tunas, like Tunas. So it'd always be fucking confused. Yeah, like the prickly pear, we'd call them tunas. So there'd be times where she'd be like, oh, like we have tunas ready. Well, she said we have tuna ready, but I was thinking, oh, fuck yeah, we have prickly pears ready. Like I can't fucking wait. I go down and I see a bunch of fucking mayo fish and pico de gallo, pissing me off. I wanted fucking fruit, not fucking fish. I prefer it to taste like fruit than fish. No, that's a double entendre.
But I think that's really accurate, actually. That's some good advice for, the kids these days, right? You want fruit, not fish.
Bars.
Pause. Las tunas. All right, Cesar. What do we got next here?
I'm
that's
running
right.
point today.
So we forgot to hit why Scott. I think Tyson was asking you earlier. Why did Anderson get more games?
Oh. I mean, I'd like for it to be a conspiracy theory and for there to be some like MLB is racist. And look, Tim Anderson is one of like 5 widgets that plays in Major League Baseball. Like there's no doubt about that. But way to be a fucking stereotype and be the most nougat of all the nougats playing Major League Baseball and be the one who squares up at second base. Like, my God, like when I saw him go down, I'm like, yeah, Tim, I don't really want that to happen, but you had that coming and probably not just today. And most of the players alluded to it afterwards. They asked Jose Ramirez, and he's just like, he's been disrespecting the game for a long time. Like, it wasn't just today. He's done some things, and you've heard, if you're a baseball fan, like, Anderson likes to chirp. That's just part of his game, whatever. He usually backs it up. Having a horrendous season, so maybe knuckling up was his way of like getting on the highlight reel because he's not doing it for playing baseball. That's for fucking sure. Oh, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. I'd love to play the race card, but can't really do that.
Now, is there any truth to the fact that Tim was all pissed because Ramirez slid into his nuts?
I don't know. I mean, if you watch that replay, like I don't see anything aggressive or awful about that slide. Like, it's just Nuga's gonna Nuga on that one. Like, it was just like, hey, I want to fight, so we gonna fight.
I have a question. Another question. It's a big question day for me. So, what's your like threshold if you're playing a sport to just throwing smacks with someone? Obviously, someone throws a can at you from the crowd, you're gonna run into the crowd and beat them up. I get that.
Hands down.
But like if
you're
you're
on our test,
the Malice in the Palace happened for a reason, man.
Yeah. I don't blame Ron. I don't blame Meta World Peace. They fucked up his inner peace. Fuck you mean? So
fucked it hard.
Yeah. Fuck you mean? Shout out Gunna. Free Gunna. Even though he's free already, but still like end the probation early. And so yeah, what's your threshold for like fighting if you're a professional athlete? Like any sport. Say your sport of choice. Mookie, you're a soccer player. Scott, you're a baseball player, football player, whichever the two you prefer more. What are you throwing smacks for?
Oof, man, if you cleat me in the wrong spot where it's clearly intentional, like, but see, that's hard though, because I've always been pretty good at getting my pound of flesh in a way that I'm not the one that gets caught. So like you cleat me, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna rake the back of your Achilles with my studs, but no one's gonna see because I'm gonna do it when I'm marking you on a corner. And then when you flip around and try to swing at me, your ass is walking out with the red card. But that's a good question, man.
Crowd, drop your threshold in the comments.
Yeah, let's see what that line is. I think, but see, again, I think that's with baseball where I was talking to my wife. She's like, that's such a terrible example. Like, you can't have that shit. That's not okay. And I'm like, yeah, for that, I don't, there's no excuse. But when dude's throwing at you, when someone's throwing 95-mile-an-hour gas at your body, like, yeah, I feel like that could trigger me pretty quick. Now, is it going to be a real all-out brawl? Because like halfway out the mound, I'd be like, yeah, this was stupid. But I think that could trigger me pretty quick if there's a slider coming in my side.
Scott, your threshold for throwing smacks in a professional sporting event?
I mean, it would be anything that like that sports culture deems bush, right? Like anything that's like a low blow or beyond the unwritten rules. But I mean, yeah, in baseball specifically, if you know a guy is trying to do anything that jeopardizes, and I feel like that goes for any sport. If anybody does anything that like might jeopardize your career from an injury standpoint or cause you to not be able to make a living for your family, yeah, we're throwing fucking hands for that. Like, it's real simple. If you're coming between me and my money out there on whatever arena it is, like, you got to get fucked up if you're doing it and it's in a blatant manner, period.
So Tank says that someone grabs your dick or tries to poke your eyes in a fumble pile, that's a fight.
Yeah.
Hey, granted.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Like, you hear about that stuff in football happening all the time. Like, it's just commonplace in the fumble. Like all sorts of former players will say, like, yeah, you know, in those piles, anything goes, man. Fuck that shit. If I identify you kicking me in the nuts or grabbing and twisting anything, like, we're gonna
twist this dick.
We're
Give
gonna
me
get
a
up
dick twist
and throw hands. Fuck that shit.
See, that's just another reason beyond looking cool why it's like, dude, you always want to wear the visor. Like, because then you don't even have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. You can dive in that pile, you know, head first and not even be caring about your eyeballs. Now, the nuts, that's hard because wearing a cup, I can't, man. It gets in the way of stuff. You got to be free down there to make athletic moves, and a cup does not support that.
I don't have that much to worry about it, to be fair. Anyways, JB says, hockey, want to go? Yeah, okay, why not? Granted, fair. You just throw smacks like that. I don't have it on me like that.
Right, like
I have a gun. But
hockey players just hit on a Tuesday, like no reason. It's like, I've been skating around for a while. Like, I'm gonna hit somebody because I'm bored. If it starts a fight, fuck it. I mean, but that's an endearing part of hockey. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And then Matt Barr says, I threw hands in high school for repeated nut taps during a lacrosse game. Yes, I'm that white. Look, bro. I'll cut you some slack here. You didn't go to Duke, so we don't have to worry about you doing anything wrong in terms of lacrosse.
Whoa.
But also, that's the one that always gets me too, because lacrosse, just like football, is also one where I'm like, yo, what are you really trying to do? Because those helmets are kind of there for a reason. So unless you're going the hockey route of pulling the helmet off first, like, there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of point to fighting in that.
No, but he said nut taps. Like, they're swinging their fucking sticks at his dick.
No, I get that, but I mean, like, you threw hands, like so what are you punching the other guy in the helmet with your glove still on, which is a big faux pas in hockey. I mean, that'll get you just wrecked. But like, I don't want to punch a helmet with my bare knuckles.
Yeah, no thanks.
That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
So my threshold,
we're throwing hands. You got to have bare face. Fuck that shit. No.
Oh, okay. There you go. Matt clearing it up. He swung his stick at his helmet like a baseball bat. That I 100% support. So, yeah, that makes sense. Also, Scott pointing out that they were acquitted, Cesar. So
I saw the 30 for 30. I know who they are.
Jesus Christ. I saw the 30 for 30.
Sarah pointing out hockey is the greatest because they will hold on to shit even during the off season to throw fists later on. I've seen that too, where there's stuff that guys.
Baseball is like
Oh,
backed
yeah.
off of that because they used to do the same thing where it's like something would happen in a pennant race and guys would, and then in spring training, these motherfuckers would throw pitches and shit. Like,
Right.
at
It's like,
each
let's get
other.
suspended in the things that don't really matter, like the whole regular season.
Right.
So my
I do
threshold for
enjoy
fighting-
that though, the strategic throwing of hands. Like, I'm gonna file that one for later. I'm gonna put that in my pocket for later and whoop your ass in a few months when
Right.
maybe you've forgotten or things have calmed down enough that nobody really remembers. I like that.
I'm very much
Caesar, let's
Zizou.
hear.
I'm
Let's
very
look-
much Zizou, Zinedine Zidane. You talk about my
Oh.
family or me. I don't give a fuck if I'm in the World Cup final, bro. I'm taking this fucking 12-pound head. It's probably like around 40 if I'm being honest. And fucking putting you through your chest and hoping you get concussed. Hoping
Dude,
you
and
get
he
concussed.
got his
You don't
money's
dare
worth.
talk bad about my family. I am a family man. Well, like I don't have
Well,
a family,
yeah,
but I
I
love
mean,
my
you
family.
definitely like that's a low blow. Like, you can't be talking about somebody else's family again in any sporting arena, and not expect to not get your ass whooped. Like, I don't care what family member it is, you're fighting if you talk shit about somebody's family.
Do you know the story, Scott, of Zinedine Zidane and why he headbutted in the World Cup final?
No, I don't. When you were sitting
Okay.
there saying that, I was like,
But
I don't think I ever knew why he actually did that. I mean, I remember it happening.
I was gonna
remember
say, you
seeing it, but I never like followed up or like ever knew what led to that headbutt.
Mookie,
I was
if you
gonna
want to
say,
take it.
no, but I was gonna ask where you were when it happened, because it's one of those things where I remember exactly where I was when Zidane pulled. Because I remember just being like, "Why the fuck did you do that? You just handed the title to Italy." Like, I wanted Zidane. I wanted him to get that cup. I've always been very pro Italy, dating all the way back to Father Fortunato, the Italian priest that came to our church back when I was a kid. And taught me about soccer. Yeah.
What?
Bro dropped a random priest like he was a rapper giving back to the hood.
Oh, yeah, no, Father Fortunato was bad, dude. He taught me everything I needed to know about the beautiful game. Like, I had that Italian style coming to me before the Dutch came over and taught me the Dutch touch method. So I remember when
I know a Dutch oven. Well, anyways, Zinedine
Not
Zidane.
quite.
If for people who don't know, World Cup final, like to lift the fucking trophy. Italy and France are tied. It's a crazy ass game. Ends up going to extra times and penalties. Well, some fucking dickhead from Italy tells Zinedine, tells Zizou, tu mamá y tu hija, like something about his mom and daughter, and he's like, say it again. He said it again. Fucking Zizou just boom, headbutts him in the fucking chest, gets a red card out of the game. He's like, it's fine. I already have one as it is. I don't need another one. Dog.
who is it too though? Like, it was someone pretty whatever.
I think it was El Piero.
It might have been that fucker. There were a lot of people in that Italian squad I was not a big fan of. I'll tell you that right now, though, because they were just they took it too far. They were too much about the flopping and whatnots. Oh, it's this guy. I think it was Del Pietro. Headbutt.
Shut up, Pietro from WandaVision.
No, it was Marco Materazzi.
Oh, Madrazi. Well, speaking of fighting, right now in the college football world, there's a whole bunch of infighting between the conferences. So obviously that brings up football. So shit's hit the fucking fan. 1000%. The JB says the priest taught you the Dutch touch. That's crazy.
Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah. And Scott pointing out Dutch touch requires consent. So is this an air horn moment or more of like a
No,
more
this
you
is
know.
just this is an acknowledgement and move on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you know what it is. We need to get that we need to get the clip from Goodwill Hunting where it's not your fault.
Oh my god.
It's not your fault.
Damn.
So last week, guys,
Yes, Caesar, bring us
So-
back on track.
the fucking Pac-12 has gone to absolute horseshit. Not even dog shit. Horseshit. Because it's horseshit. You don't see it as often as dog shit. That's why I think it's worse than dog shit. Anyways, Colorado leaves the Pac-12 for the Big 12. And then soon thereafter, it's reported that the Pac-12 showcases their media rights deal, like potential deal to the presidents and the ADs of the Pac-12, which was a reported $24 million for each school, with the potential to hit 31, 32 with Apple TV. But the reason why it would have gone up, it was basically a fucking brand deal. The more subscriptions you get, the higher payout you would have gotten for your school. School saw that and they're like, well, we're not fucking with this. We're not on linear television. And you want us to fucking basically work on a brand deal? Not for us. Oregon and Washington skedaddle for the Big Ten. I had to use a skedaddle because it's like a Midwestern phrase, I assume. And the Big Ten's a Midwestern conference. And then fucking the rest of the four corner schools in Arizona State and Utah end up coming down to the trap of the Big 12. And it's just hitting the fan. RIP Pac-12. Who would have thought at this point last year that we'd be like, okay, but they lost USC, UCLA. It's still the West Coast. They'll be fine. Nope. Dead. Only thing left in the Pac-12 is fucking Oregon State, Stanford, Cal, and I'm forgetting and Wazoo.
Yeah.
What's going to happen here?
But didn't they do this to themselves? Like, didn't they have
Mountain
a chance
West.
to like scoop up some schools? But their arrogance like fucked them over in the long run. Like, yeah, things fell apart at the very end, but they could have positioned themselves to not be the ones holding the bag. Like, so I don't know. I don't have any fucking sympathy for the Pac-12. Like overall, like the writing was on the wall over the last couple fucking years.
I will say this, so what struck me is interesting, maybe, and I don't think it's necessarily going to stay around forever, but the Big 12 is actually looking a lot more stable, dare I say, of making itself that third major conference that we're trending towards Big 10, SEC, and Big 12, with, I think, honestly, the ACC is probably going to fold. Big East will stay around, but again, that's because it doesn't have football. And then you're basically going to have a bunch of, we'll call it FCS conferences out west. Like, weird to me that the Pac-12 fell apart and the Big 12 is now kind of in one of the driver's seats. And as Sarah said, Notre Dame holding strong because the Notre Dame Broadcasting Company will continue to support that far, far into the future. Oh, also Rex saying they need to rename the conferences now, which I was giggling because I read an article that was like, yeah, so at this point, what they're probably going to want to do is like take the SEC and take the Big 10 and you know, have small divisions inside of them, cut them in half, right? And have them play a little bit more of a regional schedule to try to keep things a little bit closer together. And I'm like, oh, okay. So basically we're going to have the Pac-12 and the Big 10 all under the umbrella of the Big 10. Like,
I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Right. So it's going to end up being the same shit. It's just going to be under a different name for like media rights and whatever. And it just, I don't know. It cracks me up because I think at the end of the day, we're going to end up with basically the same stuff in 5 years. You're still going to see traditional rivalries. You're still going to see the Georgia, Alabamas, LSUs just curb stomping everybody else. And every once in a while, Ohio State will sneak in there. But it's getting a little ridiculous because, yeah, you're right. We're down to what, the Pac-4 and then the Big 18 or some shit at this point.
The Big 10's 18 teams. The SEC's, I believe, 16. And the Big 12 is at 16, or they'll be at 14 once Texas and OU leave. So the writing on the wall, as Scott mentioned earlier, is just for the sheer fact that Jeff Teague, why the fuck would I say Jeff Teague? The prior Pac-12 commissioner, Larry Scott, he fucking sucked. Trash. And then George K, the current commissioner, trash as fuck too. He's been there for 2 years, and what's he fucking done? Nothing. As a commissioner of a conference in this landscape, you need to be fucking aggressive. And Larry Scott and George K were not that. Brent Yormark of the as much as I hate the Big 12 for fucking shitting on OU and Texas for at any chance they get, which I get, you're losing. It's like losing your parents, but they're like, you know what? We don't fuck with you. We want better kids. So we're going to go off and feed someone else. Well, anyways, Brent Yormark went out and was like, look, I'm losing OU and Texas. I'm going to go get ourselves a new media rights. I don't give a fuck if it's 3 years away. I'm going to hop the Pac-12 in line and make sure I get my shit done. Because there's only so many slots you can fucking get on linear television.
Right.
ABC, ESPN, ESPN2 only have so many spots. NBC only has so many spots. CBS has only so many spots. The Big 12, the Pac-12 not being as aggressive as it needed to be is what fucked it over. They did it to themselves. I have no sympathy for them. The only sympathy I have for is the fucking schools themselves. Wazoo is no, wait. It's gonna sound crazy. Oh my god.
No, it was that Sarah White dropping in out of nowhere. Batman lost his parents. He's doing fine. Cesar and I couldn't keep it together because damn, that was
shit.
Yep, he doing great. That Bruce Wayne guy.
He's doing solid.
So something I am curious about though is because Cesar, you're hitting it absolutely right. It's a lot about these streaming deals, media rights, and like, oh, the money, right? Because fuck the student athletes, like we gonna get the bag. But I was reading an article this week about this upcoming football season because people are starting to see there be a little pushback from the consumer where they don't want to deal with an Apple TV subscription. They don't want it to be a network an app only streaming. They were saying that the TV numbers for the Women's World Cup have tanked this year because FIFA sold a lot of the broadcasting rights exclusively to like Fubo TV or app only streaming services. And people, they don't have them and they don't want to have them. And so they're not watching. They said also this year, the NFL Sunday Ticket that I think is exclusively on YouTube TV, they need to sell like 4.3 million subscriptions to it this year just to break even.
Holy
last year, DirecTV had 1.2 million subscribers. So they have to quadruple their subscriber base just to break even on Sunday Ticket this year. And it only gets worse from there. So, like, at some point, this has all got to come back to roost, doesn't it?
So, there's some other reports like that were when the Big Ten was doing their shit. Amazon actually had the biggest bid for the Big Ten, but the Big Ten decided to go with their deal with CBS and ESPN, I believe, or CBS and Fox, because it's on linear television. They're like, we might not be making as much money, but we're still on linear television, so we don't have to worry about our fucking consumer base having to download all these kinds of apps.
Yeah.
I just wonder how long it'll be before. So most of these deals now end in 2030. Big 12 ends in 2031. SEC ends in 2030. Big 10 2034. ACC is in 2036 or like 2030. Like they're still way the fuck away. The ACC is eventually just going to merge with the Big 12. With Rex saying it's getting crazy. Don't forget about the blackout of games. Even if you subscribe, your team may still be blacked out. Again, it's just insane. That's why I'm wondering how long it's going to be before the subscriber base says, you know what, fuck it. I'll have to learn how to use an app because at least on the app, my game's going to be on there.
Or is this the push that gets people back into the stadiums? I mean, again, I know that's a limiting factor to you having to be physically at the game, but maybe that's what starts to swing the pendulum back that way a little bit more. At a certain point, I feel like if you're gonna sign up for a streaming service, like you already have, like if you haven't by now, like I don't really think this is gonna push you over the edge because like I'm not subscribing to Peacock just because of Notre Dame football. Like I'm not. Like I'll find other ways to watch it. You know what I mean? But you've got to have other stuff beyond that drags me to that platform. Because the other thing, even in our best seasons, Notre Dame's only playing 4 or 5 months a year, right? Like, what the fuck am I doing in April? Why am I paying for your shit in April? You know? And so it just, I don't know. It feels like we're walking to a very awkward era coming up here, and it's going to be interesting to see how this stuff pans out. Because at the same time, everyone knows we just want to watch the SEC. So, like, who gives a fuck about these other guys?
SEC, that's me. Look, bro.
You had that queued up and ready to go.
We're gonna. Oh shit! You can't. I lived through years of having to watch these fucking dickheads chant SEC at me, feeling all high and mighty. Now I feel high and mighty. Now it's me. My school might not be high and mighty in the conference, but my conference as a whole, nasty.
So you don't think they're gonna like hold it against you? Like, oh, you're the new money in town. Like you're new rich. You're not old wealth.
The Big 12 hates us as it is. So like, what are our non-conference games really gonna be? UTSA, then maybe Tech every odd fucking 6 years.
Cesar, just do me a favor and don't be sitting there when the playoffs are going on talking about SEC pride when
Oh no! Fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Georgia again. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
just don't be one of those fuckers.
If
those
Texas isn't in the
Yeah.
playoff, I'm not even lying. I'm not even drinking the Kool-Aid. But this is probably Texas's best. I'm not saying we have the talent. I think we're very talented, but to make it to the playoff, I don't know if we're talented enough to get there yet. But our route to the playoff is probably the best this year than it's been in a while. Because in the SEC, I don't know if we're gonna fucking make it.
All you got to do is have a year where you get Alabama and Georgia down a little bit. Like every year, the SEC has one of those teams that pushes those two and has a shot as that third team. And as we expand to like 8 and probably beyond that, you could have a shot. All you got to do is you got to get a ticket to the dance. If you get a ticket to the dance and you show up, you might be going home with the prom queen. You never know. Or king.
Or prom person.
Good save.
Or what?
Prom person.
Prom person. I like that too. Yeah, we're all people, all human.
So yeah, I'm just kind of concerned because how long is it before again the Pac-12 they're gonna die, like they're dead, they're gone. Like where the fuck is Oregon State realistically gonna go? It's either the Big 10 or the Big 12.
Oh, they're not taking them though. Like why? Like why does the Big 10 need them at this point?
I really don't know. It's because there's no way they're gonna stay in a 4-team conference. If the Big 10's gonna take anyone, they're gonna take Stanford just so they could get somewhat smarter. Or I think the Big 12 should take Stanford because the Big 12 is losing a smart school in Texas. The rest of the schools there are fucking dumb.
Hey,
You got to, I mean, that's the reason why.
Just let it slide, Scott. Just bite the tongue, man.
I'm just leaving it. I'm good.
What?
So again, JB also pointing out, agreeing with Rex that he goes, imagine what Iowa, Northwestern, or Indiana are thinking trying to watch their games with USC, Oregon, and UCLA on the way. Like, yeah, so even there in the streaming package, like you may not be getting top billing with there. Like it just okay. Well, JB said it, so we get to say it now. That Texas is
a
smart
great
school.
fucking school. What are you talking about? Our acceptance rate's like fucking 6%. But I will admit Stanford is a way better school than Texas. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You take away the smart school, which is Texas, and then you add another smart school, which is Stanford. I'd even say a smarter school. And they also win championships in everything that's not named football. So they'd be fitting in perfectly.
True. They're very heavy in the swimming and Olympic sports. Oh man, I don't know. Here's the thing too, is to me, I do think that part of being an independent as Notre Dame is right now is going to be serving us well, because I don't think that this shit's all done either. Like, I still think there's a lot of weird dominoes to fall, and like, I just imagine how it is for some of these smaller schools. Like, I think UC thankfully is in a decent spot for now, but like, who knows what the future of the Big 12 looks like. Or if you're a Sun Belt conference or, Mountain West conference school, like you might be lucky to not be relegated to FCS, honestly.
It's all a bunch of fucking musical chairs at this point, and
right.
Like, everybody's just hoping when the music stops, they've still got a seat in a conference that matters. Because I mean, you see what just 2 years ago, it was looking pretty rough for them, and then they just kind of like fell into it with the Big 12 because they thought they were all right before, then things shifted again and they weren't, and now they're back to being okay, but they're just like one of the throw-ins. They're not a draw, so they're always going to constantly be battling for that. Man, I sure hope this conference stays relevant and doesn't fold again, and we're not left holding the bag in both of our sports that we give a shit about.
Okay, fuck all this. Everyone shitting on me for saying Texas is a smart school. We're a smart fucking school. Check the rankings of everything. We're up there. You're not going to shit on my alma mater. This is the one thing I'm very proud of, is that we're a great academic school. So look it up. Do your Googles, everyone. I Google enough. Now it's your fucking turn to Google. Okay, buddy?
Yeah.
But also, here's a shocker.
I know. Matt Barr saying he's with me. Mookie. All these shakeups just help ND. You're right. Because all our money is still ours, and we don't need to do anything, and we still have a path to the playoffs. Maybe not as rosy as UT, but it's there. I was going to say, who was probably really excited about the news from the last couple of days is San Diego State, although as I Googled to make sure it was them that tried to leave the Mountain West or whatever, then be like, nah, actually, can we just come back real quick? They didn't actually want us. Can we come back real quick? I'm now seeing news coming out that San Diego State tried to create a new Power 5 by merging the Pac-12 and AAC.
Get the fuck out of here.
And everyone was like, nah, we good. We're good. Like, they got shot down by both sides. Like, oh, rough. Man. San Diego State, not a great look, man. Just stop doing so much.
The
Like,
best part of San Diego State is literally Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah, good. I forgot about that.
I can't think of anyone else or anything from that school that's made an impact on my life.
You know what's weird is for some reason I just sort of associate Kawhi Leonard with being Canadian because the title he won for Toronto.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Ugh.
He coached at San Diego State. He's had an impact on my life. So fuck all of y'all haters.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Yeah, well, get fucked.
So we're running out of time
Wait,
here.
Jim?
But
I thought you liked John.
no,
John's
I
the
like
Ravens
Jim.
one.
John is the Ravens one, dude.
What,
Like, come on, man.
He would hate John, actually.
Well, I don't hate John. I do hate John for the Super Bowl, but I blame that more on Greg Roman. That's Greg Roman's fault.
Shut
I
the
don't blame
fuck
John.
up.
It's
That
Greg
piece
Roman.
of shit was your offensive coordinator?
Yes, which explains a whole lot, doesn't it? It explains
Bro.
everything, doesn't it?
That motherfucker is the reason why I haven't made it to my fantasy championship the past 3 years.
Well,
Ouch.
it's the reason why the Niners don't have
Ouch.
a 6th Super Bowl ring, too.
Or Lamar has receivers. That
Yeah.
sack of shit is dog shit. Well, I wanted to talk basketball very, very quickly because Team USA.
Ooh, are we gonna talk
starting
slam
up
ball?
their shit. We could do that too after
Okay.
this.
Do the intro.
Boom shakalaka!
What?
What? I didn't do it.
Matt's saying that he was at San Diego. I just knew that Harbaugh was somewhere in San Diego.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a gray area. Moving on.
I thought it was the Aztecs. Close enough.
So basketball, Team USA, they're prepping for the FIBA World Cup, and
Oh, on
they
that
played-
stage, or
Yeah.
on that court.
it must be that one. Well, they scrimmaged against like the young USA team, like a bunch of like under 22-year-olds, and they got fucking smoked by them. And then last night they played against Puerto Rico and they only won by they're up at half by a couple points. So are we gonna see another repeat of them just absolutely shit the bed in the fucking World Cup and then just come back in the Olympics and win it all by 1,000 points?
It's FIBA though. Like, are we really concerned, or is this
No.
more of like, yeah, okay.
The
that's what I
in-between
thought.
tournaments don't really matter too much. Like, they've got 2 more years to fix it, right? They'll be fine.
Well, it's the young bloods, right? It's,
Right. That's what I'm saying. They've got 2 more years to fix it before it matters. So who cares? Oh, wait.
All
No,
right, so now-
the Olympics are fucking next year, though, aren't they?
Yeah, so
Shit.
how
Might be a
this
bigger problem than I thought.
whoever wins FIBA, like you get an automatic qualifying berth to the Olympics. So
Oh,
yeah, that's how it works. I mean, if they
Yeah, but
reorganize it
don't-
again,
once you get an automatic qualifying berth, though, if you won the last time, so the U.S. is already fucking in. Like,
I might have just misread information on the internet again. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I'm not saying that they don't. That does not. I think that is true for FIBA, but I mean, with the U.S., because they won gold last time, I'm pretty sure that like the medal, the ones who place like automatically get a bid into the next Olympics period anyway. So it's not as if U.S. is like playing to get into the Olympics regardless. That's why in the scheme of things, it doesn't really fucking matter about FIBA. Plus the rules are slightly different than they are in the Olympics, and I mean, we're just not doing enough to worry about FIBA and the Olympics at this point. We can't even win the World Cup. God damn it, we gotta focus.
oh, that's so depressing. You know what? The one good part about it is I won a bunch of money on that game, so kind of took the sting away a little bit.
Did you bet against us?
Sure did.
Holy shit, you
Yep.
asshole!
I told you why, or told you how I did it too, and I feel like I was pretty fucking smart. Oh, okay, no, I still got time. They were giving away a free bonus bet on the U.S. women to win, or no, to advance. So again, in soccer, you have the no tie bet, right? So there's 3 outcomes in a soccer match: Team A wins, Team B wins, a draw. You can bet the 3 option route, or you can bet the no tie route, where if there is a draw, then it wipes out your bet. So they said if you pick the no tie route, USA to advance, and they don't advance, you get your money back. So I took that free money, right? Because if they win, then I win money. Took that. Then I hedged that with Sweden winning in extra time because I'm like, look, we're not going to get blown out by Sweden, but I don't really think that we're going to be able to pull this off. So I took the Sweden to advance, but draw parlay in regular time, which obviously hit. And took home a nice plus 650 parlay on that. So thanks, FanDuel, for letting me take money from you. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Oh, what? I don't get my graphic? Fine, be that way, you did.
No, I was just gonna go with what beers we were drinking.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
And since it's on you, Mookie, what were you drinking this week? We know it was non-alcoholic because you're out here trying to make babies. So what did you have for us?
That's right. Making a change in the world, making it a better place. Debatably. I was doing the Heine Double Zero again here, but down at the Reds game, I was drinking Budweiser NA, which real solid. Not quite as heavy a musk, I will say, as Budweiser heavy, but nice solid drink to it. Like, it was very refreshing, but had some really good flavor to it. So would absolutely bang it in an afternoon day game, gentleman's special, getaway day game, whatever. Don't matter. I would bang that beer, and I would bang my Heine Double Zero scheduled sex as well.
Cesar, what were you drinking?
Again, I was drinking Dos Equis. Is it good beer? I mean, yeah, sure. It's Mexican, so I'm always going to say it's good. I never shit on my culture. So I'd smash it. Yeah, sure. I'm trying to not drink as much because I died this past weekend. And mid-death, I was like, do I really need to drink anymore to have fun with my friends? And I've hit that place in my life where I don't really need to. And speaking of
welcome
kids,
to real adulthood, man.
It's
Welcome
the
to
worst.
adulthood.
Speaking of kids, if you take your kids back to school shopping, I don't know when the fuck Ohio starts school, don't make a fucking mess in the stores. Please. I was supposed to get out at fucking 10 yesterday. I got out at midnight. Because all these fucking idiots don't know how to clean up for themselves. Fucking assholes.
That sounds awful.
That's fucking terrible. Dog shit.
Well, sans that, I was drinking on the end of my Lipton journey. Hard iced tea, just the lemon flavor. It's a bang, just like every single other one in the mix pack was. If you find yourself some Lipton hard iced tea, all of them are good. All of them are bangable. All come in at 5%. It just depends on your mood, but absolute 100% bang on all things Lipton hard iced tea. So, boys, that's
boys.
We did.
Hey,
it.
look at us.
We did it.
We fucking did it.
Who'd have thought
I need
it?
some words. Who would have thought? Hey, guys.
Hey,
Didn't burn
Cesar,
down the speakeasy.
shout out to you for getting the show started. Apologies for my internet fucking up and my computer deciding it needed to reload. Apologies for Mookie showing up late. Mike, we missed you tonight like we always
Hang
do.
in there, bro. Hang in there.
Things are going to get better. We promise.
There's
Hope
only
that you
so
guys-
much puke and diarrhea in the world, my friend. I promise.
Hope that Alex feels better. Shout out to Alex as Mike's wife.
Shout
because
out.
Without her, we wouldn't be able to do this show every week. She's feeling under the weather, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this tonight without him. But shout out to Alex. Hope she feels better soon. Shout out to all of you for helping to make this a little bit easier by participating in the comments and throwing out the section. And one last time, JB was right. Fuck. Nobody likes to admit that.
God
Cesar,
damn it.
thanks again, man, for getting everything underway. We'll see you guys next week. Shout out to Belly Up Sports. Find us on YouTube, all those places that you can find. Well, we're on all the places. I can't remember all the damn
I got
things.
you. We're
Just
on
keep
Apple
saying.
Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, these multicolored podcasts. This one with the fucking green Wi-Fi logo.
Could be.
The green Wi-Fi logo going up there. I think that's Google Podcasts,
Instagram, X,
YouTube,
Twitter.
X, Facebook, Crab Boo Sports Shop. We're fucking everywhere. It's eventually going to be a takeover. Thank you guys for watching. We can't thank you enough. And once and forever, consent is necessary. Women, you fucking suck. The soccer team, we'll get better.
We're out like the Big 12. Peace, y'all. Catch you next week.
And those